We're cutting ties. Don't bother coming. That voicemail waited for me at 6:42 p.m. My name is Harper Lawson. I'd spent 15 years building my father's company. That night, I had just closed our biggest quarter. Then, those 7 words cut through the room like a blade. No explanation. No meeting. Not even a pause. Just a dismissal. Delivered the same way he canceled dentist appointments. I stood alone in the dark office, surrounded by the systems I built. Servers hummed like nothing had changed. Contracts with my initials glowed on the screen. Inventory numbers rolled across monitors, steady and indifferent. Everything in that building still needed me. Everyone in my family apparently did not. Or at least, that's what they believed. 7 words erased me, or so they thought. Before we continue, tell me where you're watching from. City/state or country. Your comment helps this story reach the people who need it. I replayed that voicemail until the silence felt heavier than the words. 15 years of work. 15 years of weekends. 15 years of being the reliable one. All dismissed like an invoice cleared from his desk. I started in that warehouse at 19, counting bolts in 102-degree heat. Learning every code. Every supplier. Every customer quirk. I grew calluses before I grew confidence. My father never noticed. But the numbers did. The systems did. The clients did. I built the operation piece by piece. Updated ancient inventory sheets. Replaced broken workflows. Coded overnight fixes while my friends slept. I poured my youth into a business that wasn't truly mine. Then Damian arrived. 27. Fresh from Europe. 0 experience. Full confidence. Dad handed him a VP title like a birthday gift. Mom called it supporting his potential. I called it what it was. A crown for a child who'd never earned a day of sweat. He took credit for my work. He botched presentations I prepared. He strutted through boardrooms calling himself the face of sales. When clients asked technical questions, he froze. I answered. He scolded me later. Don't make me look bad again. You're the back-end girl. Know your place. I swallowed the insult. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself loyalty mattered. I told myself family meant something. But family didn't mean truth. Not in our house. Mom defended him every time. Dad ignored every warning. Damian kept inflating commissions. Deals magically converted on the last day. Renewals reappeared as new business. I gathered evidence quietly. Old habit. Documentation over drama. Still, I didn't expect betrayal delivered through a voicemail. I wasn't replaced that night. I was erased. The morning after that voicemail, the office felt different. Not quieter. Just clearer. Every hallway reminded me who kept this place running. Not my father. Not Damian. Me. I walked past the server room. My code still pulsed through every machine. My spreadsheets still tracked every shipment. My formulas still balanced every quarter. The company was breathing through systems I built alone. And they were planning to cut me out with a single message. I opened my bottom drawer. Pulled out the leather ledger. The one Dad made us sign every year. A ritual he called shared responsibility. My name sat neat and loyal beside theirs. 15 years of ink. 15 years of compliance. I crossed it out once. Slow. Deliberate. Permanent. It sounded like tearing fabric. Maybe family fabric. Maybe just denial. I snapped a photo. Sent it to my lawyer. Subject line, need options. Then I backed up everything. Every vendor file. Every contract revision. Every commission anomaly. Every flagged expense. Every access log showing Damian copying data at midnight. I didn't steal. I didn't sabotage. I protected myself. Damian texted around noon. Always knew you'd bail. Don't worry. I'll fix your outdated systems. I screenshotted it. Filed it under, predictable. By sunset, the warehouse manager called me. An emergency meeting. Dad announced Damian as my replacement. No mention of me. No acknowledgement. Not even a sentence of thanks. I didn't cry. I'd already lost those tears years ago. I canceled my flight to the family ranch. Deleted the date from my calendar. Sent an official notice stepping away. Requested a full audit. Cold. Precise. Professional. Dad wanted business? Then business was what he'd get. Hours later, the panic began. Texts from my mother. Emails from Dad. Voicemails stacking like overdue invoices. None of them mentioned the voicemail that started it. Not one apology. Just fear. Fear of missing signatures. Fear of frozen credit lines. Fear of a system they couldn't run without me. And I sat there in my quiet apartment, watching their messages pile up, watching their confidence unravel, watching the empire they stole from me start to shake. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was informative. It told me exactly who I'd been to them. A tool, not a daughter. They removed me from the table. They forgot I built the table. They wanted silence. I gave them consequences. If your family pulled this on you, how would you respond? Drop a 1 if you'd walk away. Drop a 2 if you'd walk back with receipts. The first real crack showed up at 9:14 a.m. A bank alert. Not mine. The company's. Unusual activity detected. Pending hold applied. I stared at the message, then opened the attached report. 27 flagged transfers. 6 pending withdrawals. All tied to accounts Damian controlled. Dad must have felt it instantly. My phone lit up seconds later. I let it ring. Then ring again. Then again. By noon, the panic became visible. Emails shifted from stiff to frantic. Subject lines changed tone. From clarification needed to urgent, call me now. I didn't. Instead, I opened the archive I'd prepared. 14 months of anomalies. Commission padding. Shell vendors. Self-declared consulting fees. Transfers labeled development costs with no development. Every penny traced. Every line verified. Every timestamp clean. I didn't build this binder for revenge. I built it because patterns matter. And my family had a pattern. By 3 p.m., the accountant called. His voice shook. He said the bank needed my signature. Without it, the credit line would collapse. Payroll would freeze. Orders would die in the pipeline. I said nothing. Silence carries its own gravity. Then Damian texted furious, "Fix this. Dad says you have to. Don't be dramatic." Dramatic. That word almost made me laugh. The office around me hummed with routine. Phones ringing, forklifts beeping, people walking past my door like nothing was shifting. But a system doesn't show panic the way people do. Paperwork does. At 4:22 p.m., the second crack formed. A forwarded email. A dissolution request. Filed by my father and Damian. They'd tried to dissolve the LLC. Without me. Without notice. Without legality. My name was still on the founding papers. My signature required. Their entire plan died in one missing signature. I stood at the window. Watched sunlight fade across the parking lot. It looked like distance. It looked like freedom. My lawyer called 5 minutes later. He'd reviewed the dissolution attempt. He'd reviewed the flagged transfers. And he'd reviewed the ledger photo. His voice was steady, almost impressed. "Harper, they didn't just cut you out. They committed fraud." I felt nothing. Not anger. Not triumph. Just clarity. Clarity that the people who raised me never thought I'd fight back. Never thought I'd read the fine print. Never thought I'd protect myself. Never thought I'd be the one holding the receipts instead of carrying the blame. Dad always said, business is business. So I finally believed him. And I knew exactly where this was headed next. They tried to erase me. They never expected I'd pull the entire truth into daylight. I didn't strike back with emotion. I struck back with order. At 7:12 a.m., I called my lawyer. We reviewed everything line by line. Each anomaly tightened the case. Each transfer sharpened the picture. Each missing invoice revealed intent. By 8:40, we filed the request. Full forensic audit. Mandatory account freeze. Immediate investigation into unauthorized activity. The bank moved faster than expected. Their risk department flagged 11 accounts. 6 vendor relationships. 4 incoming payments. Every dollar suddenly frozen in place. The company couldn't breathe. Because I turned off the oxygen they'd assumed came from them. At 9:55 a.m., Dad left another voicemail. His tone strained. Controlled panic. A man watching walls close in. "Harper, we need to talk. You've misunderstood things." I hadn't. The numbers didn't lie. My father did. By noon, Damian finally cracked. He sent a rapid string of messages. "You're ruining everything. Dad says fix it now. You think this makes you strong?" And finally, "You owe this family." That one made my breath still. Oh? After 15 years of carrying them? After being dismissed by voicemail? After watching Damian burn the place down and call it leadership, I uploaded the last folder. Vendor lists, contract anomalies, commission fraud, shell corporations, tax inconsistencies, everything organized in clean digital stacks. Then I hit send. To the bank, to the auditor, to the IRS criminal division. Business is business. He taught me that. I simply honored the lesson. By 3 p.m. another alert arrived. The IRS opened a case file. The State Banking Commission followed. Numbers don't panic. People do. At 4:17 p.m., Ariel called me. Her voice was soft, worried, almost grieving. "Dad's pacing the house," she whispered. "Mom's crying nonstop. Damian's on the phone screaming at bankers." "What did you do?" I told her the truth. I stopped covering for them. Silence filled the line. Then she exhaled slowly. "You warned them, Harper." "I did," I said. And they laughed. By dinner, they'd lawyered up. Their attorney emailed me. A messy attempt to intimidate. Allegations of sabotage. Threats of legal action. None of it grounded in fact, I replied with one attachment. A clean PDF. Titled, Summary of Verified Irregularities. No emotion. No commentary. Just facts. 3 hours later, their attorney went silent. Facts have that effect. While they spiraled, I sat at my desk revising my timeline, preparing for the next step. The unavoidable step. They wanted a war. They forgot I measure everything. And once I start documenting, I don't stop. The first court date came faster than anyone expected. I walked in calm, prepared, documented. My father didn't look at me. My mother looked everywhere else. Damian didn't show. Their lawyer arrived with a thin folder. Mine arrived with a binder. Facts weigh more than loyalty. The judge skimmed the filings, the flag transfers, the shell companies, the commission fraud, the dissolution attempt, the missing signatures. Her expression never changed, but the room did. She dismissed their claims in minutes, then ordered a full forensic audit. Their faces drained at the word forensic, because forensic means nothing stays buried. When we stepped outside, Dad finally turned toward me. His voice cracked. "Harper, please, we can fix this." I saw the truth clearly then. He wasn't asking for reconciliation. He was asking for rescue. I wasn't his daughter in that moment. I was the last unburned bridge. And I was done being infrastructure. "I hope you learned something," I said quietly. "Not from me, from consequences." I walked away. No dramatic turn. No final speech. Just a clean exit. 3 months later, I opened my own operation in Oklahoma City. Smaller, simpler. Built with people who show their work. We hit our first million last quarter. No lies. No shortcuts. No voicemail goodbyes. Sometimes peace isn't soft. Sometimes peace arrives as distance, clarity, and a locked door. They taught me business is business, so I chose myself like one. And that choice saved my life. If this story stayed with you, please like the video, share it with someone exhausted, and subscribe to Echoes of Life to stay for the next story.